Hi, welcome again to Tony&Dees kitchen. My name is Dee, and I'll be making some breakfast potatoes today. I like to go in different stages, so just bear with me. But I think you'll really like it. And it's not going to be so much fried potatoes. We're not going to fry them. We're just going to steam them and get them nice and tender and brown, and you'll like it. Okay? First of all, the potatoes I like to use are the golden potatoes. And I just get these from Kroger. It's pretty big, so I may not use more than one. It's just going to be me and Tony. And I like to chop them up. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce my dry ingredients and seasonings for this dish. It's 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. You can get it right at Kroger. It's Italian seasoning flakes. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Next, we have 1/2 teaspoon of Lawry's seasoning salt. And next, we have Morton's Nature Seasoning. That's 1/2 teaspoon. We also will have 1 onion, and we'll have it chopped. And I will also use 4 cloves of garlic. And I like using this peeled garlic, no preservatives, premium peeled garlic. And you can get that from Kroger. It comes in a little seal packs, but they're already peeled. And there you have it. And we're going to sprinkle some black pepper, about 1/4 of a teaspoon. That should be enough. I have a large skillet. I have about 3 tablespoons of grapeseed oil in the skillet. You want to preheat it on a medium heat to get it nice and hot for you. You don't want to put your potatoes in your skillet with the oil cold, because your potatoes will absorb all your oil and it'll be more on the greasy side. We don't want our potatoes to be more on the greasy side. We want it to cook but not be too greasy. Now that my oil is hot, like I said, I have it on medium heat. Later on I'll turn it down. We're going to add the potatoes. So you want it to sizzle. I'm going to add my onions, but I'm going to add them a little bit later on. So add my 1/2 teaspoon of Lawry's seasoning salt, my 1/2 teaspoon of Nature Seasoning, my teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and a teaspoon of my garlic powder. I'm just going to kind of stir this up a little bit. You want to kind of coat your potatoes pretty good. Once they're coated pretty good in the pan, what you want to do after that is you want to just kind of turn them down. And we're going to basically steam the potatoes. We're not frying them. We're going to steam them. But we got the oil in it so that the potatoes are brown really good. Okay? I got my potatoes really nice and coated. I don't know if you can see that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to turn the heat down more toward low. I'm going to let it cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then I'm going to add my chopped onions and my chopped garlic. Why? Because for me, if I add the onions and garlic a little too soon, it'll burn the garlic and it'll burn the onions. And I don't want that to be. I want it to be to where the onions and the garlic are kind of cooking in and caramelized, and the flavor be real good. I don't want the flavor off because I got burnt onion and garlic in there. So we're just gonna let them go. Okay, so my potatoes have been cooking now for about three minutes. It hadn't really been 5 minutes. What I'm gonna do is, don't let the steam scare you. It's actually what's cooking the food. I'm gonna take the lid off here and I'm gonna just barely scrape it a little bit so I can turn the potatoes. You're gonna start seeing them brown, and I'm gonna add my onion and my garlic. Okay? Be careful with the steam. And the condensation, just let it drop in the pan. Don't let it scare you. It's actually going to help it cook. As I turn it over, you can see the potatoes are starting to get a little bit of a color to them now. And I love this pot, guys. You can use cast iron, you can use whatever pot you're comfortable with. I like this because it has a handle here on the end, and it also has a handle at the top. But as you can see, it's getting brown. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my onion and my garlic. And this is half of a white onion or a yellow onion, but it's half, and it's to one potato. And this is about 4 cloves of garlic. Again, don't add, for me, I don't add my onion and my garlic at the beginning because I don't want them to get brown. I don't want them to turn black. Because these potatoes are going to still cook for a little bit. They're not ready yet. I'm going to turn the fire down to a very low heat, and I'm going to let the steam go in and really tender, make those potatoes really tender. So now I have everything blended like I want. See if you can see that. So now I'm going to put the lid on again. I'm going to turn the fire down just a little bit more because I really just want it to steam. And I'm going to let this go for about another 10 minutes. If you want to, you can kind of check it a little bit, but like I said, the steam, that's why we have a top on it. It's going to go in and make those potatoes and onions really tender, and it's going to help the flavor go through. Okay? We'll be back then. They're still cooking, but I want people to understand how nice they brown, and I want people to see how nice they brown. I'm just going to take the lid off. Like I said, it's got water on the lid, but that water is going to keep them nice and moist. It won't dry them out. So I'm going to raise the lid up here. Hear the sizzle? That's the water. But that's cooking real nice. So I'm going to turn them over so you can kind of see how nice they're browning. And these are just about done. They're almost there, guys. They're so good. Almost there. Cover them up again. After you do your taste, if they're not as tender as you want them to be, just cover them again and just continue to let them cook. I'll probably let them cook for about another 5 minutes. They should be ready in another 5 minutes. And we will go ahead and let Tony taste them. I'm getting ready to check them one more time. They should be ready. They smell like they're ready. And I'm going to turn them to make sure everything brown nice and even. Like I said, just kind of be cautious of the steam. Yeah. So look like these potatoes are done, guys. See, they're nice and have a nice shine to them, and they're nice and tender. The onions are caramelized and the potatoes are cooked. So I'm going to turn the fire down and I'm going to put them on my plate and serve them. All right, guys, the potatoes are done. Let you guys see how nice they are. Man. Didn't take that long to prepare, but they're really good, really nice, really tender. Really good. The onions have caramelized and they released their flavor. They're not bitter in any way. They're nice and sweet and it goes in with the potatoes. The golden potatoes to me have more of a buttery flavor. You can use russet potatoes, but I like using the golden potatoes because I don't have to peel them. The Italian seasoning gives it that herby flavor. If you ever been to a restaurant and had like a herb potato, that's what these taste like. We like having them for breakfast on the weekend. We don't have them all the time through the week, but we like having them on the weekend. They're nice. They're really good. They don't take that long to prepare. Tony, come taste potatoes. See how you like them. Like I said, my husband likes for his food to taste good. Oh, so we're going to have the royal taster come taste the potatoes, but I think they're really good.
She calling me the royal taster. Hold on. Ooh, I guess I get me a fork. Here, let's do this. What you got to say now? I got a fork. All right. Let me see here. See how we doing here. Oh man. Oh man. That tastes better than French fries, man. You know how much I love French fries. It's better than French fries.
And I like the flavor of the grapeseed oil. It's not overpowering. Like some other oils, you can kind of taste whatever they're made out of, like the olive oil. If you're not an olive person, it kind of be overpowering on your food. But the grapeseed oil is really good. Has a light flavor to it, and it really cooks really nice. And you can have the grapeseed oil on a high heat, and it doesn't change the molecular structure of the oil. So we love grapeseed oil. Like I said, this is our weekend treat. My grandmother used to make scalloped potatoes on Sunday morning, so I was really excited about learning how to make the scalloped potatoes. I cut my potato, if you haven't noticed, I cut my pieces up smaller, so it just kind of cuts down on the cooking time, and they cook nice and even, and yeah, we enjoy these. So hopefully your family will enjoy it as much as my husband and I have enjoyed it. And so this is Tony&Dees Kitchen. Till next time, bye.